Okay, welcome to the Town of Richmond Water and Sewer Commission, October the 6th, 2025. Public comments?
The weather was beautiful today.
Was it? It was too hot.
But on this whole week and no rain.
Okay, rain's coming, which is good because we need it.
Yes. Moving further along, any additions, deletion or modifications to the agenda? Okay. First up, approval of minutes, purchase orders and warrants. Minutes, would anybody like to make a motion? We have two sets of minutes.
Morgan, this is David. I move to approve the draft minutes of the September 15th, 2025 Water and Sewer Commission.
Would anybody like to second that?
I'll let Bard.
Sure, I'll second it.
Okay. Comments, further discussion? No further discussion for the minutes for September 15th, 2025. Please state your vote.
Bard, aye.
David, I.
Aaron abstain. I didn't read them. There were
More-
too many other things to read.
Morgan, aye. Motion passes. Minutes for September the 29th.
I will make the motion to approve them, but I did not read them.
Would anybody like to second that?
I'll second them under the same premise.
Okay. You need three people to vote on them. So any further discussion? No further discussion. Please state your vote for approving the minutes from September 29th.
Bard abstain.
I was there. I'm confident that they're good, even though I haven't read them, but I will read them.
Okay.
Okay, I'll vote yes with him, same way.
Wow. Morgan, aye. I must lead a boring life. Okay, motion passes.
Well, I do spend the weekend in a field with no internet right now, so that makes some of these things a little challenging.
It is. Okay, thank you. Moving right along, we have a purchase order number 5298 for payment on the to the Vermont Bond Bank for Jericho Road project.
Josh, this is sort of off topic, but how many more years do we have to pay this off? I thought it was getting pretty close to being done.
Yeah, interestingly, the fire truck, this is our last payment for the fire truck. Jericho Road, I don't know. I could check the budget presentation that we looked at last time, if you want to know.
I think. No, it was one of them gets done this year.
That's what I thought.
Go to the budget presentation. We have a little time.
That might be the
Remember-
tank gap one.
This isn't for the tank, this is for something else.
Yeah, this is the Jericho Road reconstruction. It was more than a repaving project.
In any case, stopping paying for something as we prepare to pay for something would be good.
Yeah. I mean, we're committed to paying it. I just sort of want to get in my head
Yeah.
what's being paid off when.
Yes.
Sorry, Josh, it's kind of a side issue.
No, it's fine. I just gotta find my presentation that we had.
Spreadsheet.
Because that talked about everything in it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have that saved on my desktop.
The presentation?
Your like
Spreadsheet.
Oh, well, I was just gonna go to the presentation because
Yeah, wasn't it one slide?
Yeah, it's a slide that I think has everything here. Where was it?
Yeah, I thought there was a slide that showed the
There it
notes.
is. And I'm looking for where that would be. Budget.
Doesn't matter.
Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I found that. We've got,
2032. Okay. So a ways yet.
Just around the corner.
yeah, that is a little bit, there was something,
The tank gap loan, I think we paid off.
I guess, yeah, maybe there was something that came off that year.
7 years.
There we go.
26, 27.
On the
30.
wastewater side, we got a couple that are coming off, which is helpful because we have a wastewater project coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last 20-year study comes
Okay,
up.
so we're 6 years away from paying that off.
Okay, so then I will move to approve the purchase order number 5298 to Vermont Bond Bank for payment of the bond for the water and wastewater share of the Jericho Road project in the amount of $53,953.10.
Morgan, this is David. I'll second.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion, please state your name and the vote. How you,
Bart, aye.
David, I.
Aaron, I.
Morgan, I, motion passes. Okay. Next up, warrants. We have 4 warrants. Yes, we have 4 warrants. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve all warrants as presented?
So moved.
Second,
Discussion? One question, maybe you could spend just 2 minutes going each warrant, the electronic, no, it's the, yeah, I guess it's the electronic warrants. I see one dated for October, then there's,
There's an August, September, and there's an adjustment, so that's a good question, I'll walk through those as best as I can. Excuse me.
there's August, September, final or Fund 21.
Yep. So what we've got is, this is for, this is, so this is for bills in August that were paid out of the general fund that then water and sewer has to pay back the general fund for. So all payroll goes out of the general fund. So water sewer owes $31,190 back to the general fund for payroll for the month of August. There's a few combined bills, so there's $661 that needs to be paid back. And some accounts payable for wastewater as well. So that's $33,760 for August. Then this one is September, same basic thing. We've got payroll and a few combined bills that get paid out of general fund. This one is a little different. So this one, the way the accounting system works is there's a due to, due from line. So when the general fund pays payroll, let's say general fund pays $10,000 in payroll for water and sewer, there'll be a due to account. They'll say you are due $10,000 to this fund, and then the water and sewer side will say you are due to spend $10,000 to give over to the other account. So those, and then there's another due from in between the water account and the wastewater account. It gets a little extra complicated there because everything gets paid out of the water account and then water pays back wastewater. And that's the way it sort of works. Or wastewater pays back water. So hold on a second. So what happened here was we never, I guess Connie doesn't actually reconcile all those due froms all the time, but she went through and looked at it and said, wait a minute, we're off by like $37,000. So she went through and tried to figure out, went back a number of years into 21 to look at each month of these bills here to say, okay, did I miss a payroll somewhere? Did I miss any accounts payable? So she went back through all the paperwork. She couldn't find anything. But what it's showing is that the water and sewer owes the general checking $37,900. So that would be in all of our reports, it would still show that as accurately. We just need to move the actual money back over. So it must have been something prior to 21. I talked to her about, let's just reconcile that every month, because I think it's easy enough when you do these reports once a month to go through, say, okay, if I move 37,734 over, will that reconcile the due froms? So we're going to start to do that every month as we do this, so we won't get into a situation where we're like, water and sewer owes $37,000 to the town, the general fund, and we can't find that. So.
Okay. So this is saying you owe us money. It's debits and credits, right?
Yeah, this is saying the water and sewer owes town
yeah.
center money.
And then at some point, water and sewer then takes money from its accounts and pays the town. Is it just?
Well, that's what this would be. And so the monthly ones are pretty easy. They're straightforward, right? She has a lot of paperwork backup for this that you look at, and this is part of it, where we include, okay, there was some cloud and tech services that were combined. There's payroll, there's legal, and there's even another backup to help her find these, there's another set of sheets that she goes through to look at the account numbers. She does it per check run, so she can go through and say, here's payroll from this check run, here's cloud and tech services from this check run. And these monthly ones add up real nice and neat. It's just when I don't know what spurred her to look at it and say, wow, why are we off? But that's when she looked, and then she went back. Because what she did was she looked at the cash owed to Fund 21 was $991. And then the cash due to general and due to the general and sewer was 1 million. So she was able to take that 1 million, subtract out the August payment, subtract out the September payment, subtract out the amount that's due from water to wastewater, and there's $37,000 left. And the only other place that would be due to is to the general fund.
Okay.
You know, I'm not an accountant, but why is this done this way? You know,
Software is what.
it's a combination of paying from one account to another account, and then a third account behind that, and then the handwritten stuff. This is not, I'm surprised, this is probably not the first error that would have come up, because there's not an automated way apparently.
Right.
So it just seems to me that this might be a process improvement, because A, this is a lot more manual labor than I would like to see, and B, as evidenced tonight, it's prone to possible error. Like, did I remember to do this? Versus I know that I did or didn't by some resolution of the charge within the books themselves.
And that's why I asked her to start doing this every month as she pulls this. Let's just reconcile once a month. It's still a manual step. And I don't know if we can ask Nemrick if there's a way to do it automatically, because that would be much better. Maybe.
Or directly, like this fund pays this check, that fund pays this.
That would actually be ideal if we could do that. Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah, I mean, normally that's right, you once a month, you print it out, here's debits. And
Yeah, and actually, I guess, so sorry, but sorry to interrupt, but so in the accounting system, that's how she's able to figure out. So in the accounting system, the accounts are actually done that way, where the check will come out and say, okay, this much goes to water and sewer, this much goes to general fund. What this is actually transferring the money in the bank accounts. But so that's where, like, I'm not sure how we connect the accounting to the actual bank transfers, other than the paperwork that she has as a file. But to your point, there can be errors, and then when you catch them, you have to correct them. So I think if we try to reconcile once a month, hopefully that'll keep us a lot straighter.
I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
does each department create it like it's separate business? In other words, like when I think of, if I had 3 LLCs, right, and I was doing the books, they wouldn't just be in one set of books. I'd have to close one out and go to the other, but the bookkeeping still shows to's and froms or debits and credits.
Yeah, so in the general fund, it's all one bank account, and we don't treat them separately. So if there's a combined check, like when we pay insurance, it hits several different account lines. But it's all automatic. Like, well, I have a spreadsheet. I go through, okay, this is how much each account owes to that payment. And then when Connie puts it into the system, cut the check, it will hit all those account numbers and debit all those account numbers the right amount based on that payment for that check. Where and there's no due from in that. And the same thing would happen if it was, just a wastewater bill, like the wastewater account for the operator that we pay. That only comes out of wastewater, and it's the same line. Where it gets funny is when we do treat water and sewer completely separate from the town center, because they're totally separate. That is 2 different businesses at that point, basically. But we are combined in the fact that there's some bills that overlap, and that's where the due fund comes in. When we pay payroll out of one, it will actually pull it all out of the correct account numbers, but then we need to reconcile the cash in the bank accounts, and that's how that gets moved over. And that's what the electronic warrants are, is moving the cash over.
Right.
We have we also see electronic warrants in the general fund for when we spend out of the town center reserve fund. It has its own bank account, and when we spend out of the town center reserve fund, there's sometimes we need to do an electronic warrant back over to the town center. So, so like if we're spending on utilities on this building, part of that gets paid back by the town center reserve fund. So once a month, again, she'll go in and say, okay, we paid $5,000 in utilities, it needs to get paid back by the reserve fund. And that's when that gets transferred over. Again, when the check is cut, the accounting is straight, it's just moving the cash from one bank account to the other. Yeah. Yeah, it gets a little complicated with the different steps.
Okay. Okay, all right, so we have a motion with second. Any further discussion? Further discussion, please state your name and how you want to vote.
Bart, I.
David, I.
Aaron, I.
Morgan, aye. Passes. Okay, moving right along to we approved the minutes and purchase orders and warrants. Reminder of special meeting on October 7th, that's tomorrow. Review the 20-year wastewater treatment facility study, funding options, and the engineering study for pump station and force main flood mitigation. So this is just a reminder to everybody out there and everybody in this room that we are meeting again tomorrow at 7 o'clock with Hoyle.
6 o'clock.
I'm sorry, 6 o'clock. Thank you. With Hoyle Tanner, right?
Yes.
To go over the wastewater treatment 20-year study as well as funding options to pay back the loan for the improvements.
That's here.
That is here.
And we'll also talk about the flood mitigation report for the pump station enforcement.
Oh, right. Bart?
Morgan, just because I glanced at these, but it wasn't obvious to me where the funding options are presented tomorrow. I partly asked because my apologies, I won't be here.
So
There's another.
so item 3B, review funding options for upgrades to the wastewater treatment facility.
Yeah, so, now I'm getting it, yeah, taxpayer share, increased septage,
Right.
max,
Few things in
Yeah.
the packet,
yeah,
you find it there.
yeah.
Okay. And those are the Excel sheets, which I think some slight changes that we went over as a breakout group prior to this meeting.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so a lot to cover tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna be a big meeting, but I think hopefully pretty informative and productive.
Yes. Yeah, this will be good as we start down this path of trying to figure out how to pay for this. Okay, any other questions or comments? Item B, update on the resupply of the water tank from the well, the mystery.
So, don't know where Steve is, just texted him, unlike him to miss a meeting. But I can tell you what he told me. So Thursday morning, typically, there's a low level, I think it's like 21.4 feet, that when the tank hits that level, it kicks on and fills up to, I think it's 23.5 feet. So it always keeps it in between those levels. So sometimes it reaches the low level during the day, the pump kicks on until it gets to the 23.5 feet. A lot of the pumping though is overnight. So on Wednesday night, the pump was running, they left, they go home, they come in Thursday morning, and it was still at like 21.7, 21.8. And they're like, that's weird. Usually it tops off around midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. Why didn't it top off? So they checked the pump. It was pumping water out of the well into the clear well, which is the stage before it gets treated with chemicals to go into the system. So water was coming out of the well. They drove around to see, are there any big leaks anywhere? There was no big obvious leaks. They called fire to see, was there fire last night? There was no fire that night. So they were wondering, well, why aren't we filling up? And that's when Steve said, well, until we figure this out or until it closes, until it catches back up consistently, we want to conserve water. So they stopped receiving septage because they need to add water to receive septage. They stopped the sale of water, and they asked customers to be conservative with water for those few days. So no washing cars, no watering gardens. Thursday night, the water did fill back up, and by Friday morning, the well was topped, or the tank was topped off. Same thing Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday into Sunday. So we were progressing in the right direction. It hasn't actually reached the low point as of this morning. So he wants to see it do one more cycle to fill back, reach the low point and fill back up by tomorrow morning. And at that point, we'll put notice out to customers that seems to be filling up. Normally, you can go back about normal water use, but we're also gonna put a note in there. Please do keep in mind, we're in drought condition, so any conservation would be probably prudent. It's a little concerning that we don't know exactly why it didn't fill up that one night. It's sort of like a gremlin you can't find. They're trying to troubleshoot everything they can, but they haven't been able to find anything. He also told me that they were noticing that I think the pH was raising a little bit. They started to notice that I think within the last week, and they're not really sure why on that. They changed some of their pH, the way they balance out the pH. They cycled that through. Didn't seem to make any sort of a difference. His one theory is maybe it's pulling from different water sources if other sources are getting low, but it's just a theory. He's not really sure why. So right now, really gonna monitor and wait and see and keep an eye on it. And if there's a low or the tank doesn't refill again for some reason, we'll have to put another notice and continue to troubleshoot.
Do we know if it's an issue of water going out somewhere or an issue of water not coming in?
We don't. That's
Okay.
why we looked, like there was no fire, so like there wasn't like a big use of the water. There didn't seem to be a large leak anywhere. That usually.
There's no flow meter on the well.
Oh, that'd be a great question for Steve. I don't know the answer to that.
This may not, I don't think it's related, but a question, do we know sort of the height or depth of the water in the well? Like,
25 feet.
and has that changed at all? That's my
So-
question.
It went down, but then it went back up.
Yeah, so I think at 21.5 feet is when it kicks on. And then.
No, the well.
The well, not the
Well,
tank.
sorry, the well. What'd you say, Erin?
That I was thinking the tank. I
Yeah.
retract my statement.
And you got me going on the tank too. I think that, so I did ask Steve, is there a way to test like the water source in the well? And he says the way that they do that is they pump it dry basically and then wait to see how long does it fill
Yeah.
back in. And he's like, I really do not inclined to pump it dry right now.
Well, we tried, but we couldn't when the pump was rehabbed a few years ago.
So
Confidently told that we'd never run out of water.
that's what we told him.
No, that's what we were told.
Well, I've heard that over the years. We have a very good source, there's a really good aquifer underground. I think he said the well is only like 35 feet deep.
25.
It's not, was that
25.
25? Okay, I thought he said 35, but either way, it's not hundreds or thousands of feet deep like some of these
Yeah.
wells. I mean, it is right next to the river, so maybe that counts for something. But yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a great way other than pumping it dry or trying to pump it dry.
Which we might have done on Thursday night.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the
That's a
reasons
good
I,
point. Yeah, I don't know.
and so my question is literally if it's only 25 feet deep, is there a way to look down at it? Because that's essentially going to tell you what the water table is, right?
Yeah.
And is the water table lower?
Hmm.
It is possible, of course, you're right, that there is some slowdown and it pumped it dry and then refilled.
What are the physical characteristics of the well then? Because I hear like a 25, but normally you're like encasing, pipe goes down, pumps at the bottom and it pumps water back up. But this sounds almost like a natural holding tank in which the water flows into, it's pumped into that and then it's pumped from that up to the well, into the tank.
The clear well, it's drawn out. It's 25 feet deep. Then it goes into the thing that chlorinates it.
It goes from the ground well into the clear well.
Into the clear well.
So, yeah, I think the ground well taps into the aquifer.
Yeah,
of that.
That's the little red booth just past Bresser's
Yeah.
house.
Right.
I would assume that's a drilled well that's like
Yeah.
lots of feet in the ground, like.
Supposed to hand
It's
dug.
only like 25, 35 feet deep. But yeah, I have a dug well
Feet.
that's only like, I don't know, 20 or 30 feet. And you can take the steel top off and look and you can see the water.
Right.
So you can tell where it is. I've been in the water house before. It looks like it's like a drill well is usually tighter. You can't
Yeah.
look down, but it's a good question. Maybe Steve could look to see, but I don't know.
I would assume it's a drilled well,
Yeah.
not a dug well.
Right.
Our next trip,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that'll be a short one.
It is a shorter trip. Yeah, I think it's a shorter tour. But
Water is out here and it goes there. Thank you,
Well, I wrote those questions down. I'll ask Steve if there is a flow meter, 'cause that's a good question, if is it going in and coming out. I know he's able to monitor some things overnight with the well. I didn't get a really good handle on that at the end of last week, though, as far as what he's seeing going up and down there. And can we look into the well to see if the water level has reduced? I don't even know where they would benchmark that at, like,
Right.
they have a benchmark of where it usually is. That's what I'm told with my well is, I never look in that thing, so I don't know what's high or low.
We have a drilled well at the barn,
Yeah,
and I know
And-
like we can't monitor what's way down there.
yeah,
You know, the dug well, like what my in-laws have and you have, like you take the cover off and see.
Yeah.
But the drilled well is a mystery, but hopefully it's deep enough.
The high-tech way to tell is take an ice cube and a stopwatch. Drop the ice cube, start the stopwatch, and when you hear boing,
Going
stop the stopwatch. That tells you how far
you do
down
it
it
every
is.
day.
Are you like being that serious? Are you saying that seriously?
Yeah.
So how, because the ice cube will melt
Right.
and it won't.
when you hear the splash at the bottom,
So you have to
Boing.
time it.
Yeah.
And
Time.
it's the
Pollutant
equation.
option.
use the equation for
Yeah.
acceleration.
So, you know, say
Have
it's
to be pretty example.
1.37 seconds, so there's a
What
formula.
equals T
Yeah.
times D, so divide
Yeah.
D.
We're calling you for the
Okay.
Excel sheet on that one.
Or you get a clean stick and.
Yeah,
I need more stick.
Because my well's 1,200 feet, so it's
Or you go inside and have a coffee.
boink.
okay.
Well, I don't know what it would cost if it's worth it, but just put a pressure, I mean, they're pretty, this day, a pressure gauge at the very bottom, they could do that. Because I'm again, I'm
Yeah,
assuming the pump's at the very bottom
Oh, and then the pressure of the water on top of it.
above that, right?
Based on the
Yeah.
volume, yeah.
Right,
Interesting
right,
idea, yeah.
pressure on it, and so that just, and that would read out all the time, those are like. So is it worth it or not? I don't know.
Well, this well is so shallow, you should be able to.
Just take a flashlight.
Unless it's so tight that you can't, it's just enough for the
Then you could,
tube to come up, like there's no way to look in there.
The problem might be it is so shallow that it might pump dry and then refill and pump dry
That's
and
what
then
it does.
refill.
Yeah,
it's hard to say, I don't,
but it's weird that it would have happened Wednesday night and not Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. There's been no real change, but I don't know. I'd be lying if I told you I understood underground.
hydrogeology.
Hydrogeology, I can barely pronounce the word. So,
We hiked up Mansfield, and one section of the forest was like soft and wet, and the other side was like
Crispy.
crispy
Mhm.
powder.
huh,
Yeah,
this is just recently.
yeah, this is Saturday, we were walking through, and water's just seeping out of the side of the mountain, then we come down another trail, and it's like, you're like dust
So-
everywhere.
Strange.
Okay. Any other questions or discussions on this? Moving right along, and receive review of September 2025 water data. Not really much to review other than it's all ACES.
Yeah, no, good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Let me just make a note of time. I'll share my screen again. Yeah, everything was in the acceptable range for fluoride.
Nothing
and
yellow.
For
Chlorine,
chlorine, yeah, no yellow. They did a great job. I'll make this a little bigger too.
The pH variance is curious.
that is, isn't
I'm thinking that if the aquifer is low, then we're getting seepage from parts that we generally don't get water from.
Yeah, that's what Steve was theorizing, and I don't, again, hydrogeology, not my strong suit, I don't know how that works, but I suppose it's possible.
it?
And I mean, the pH does always vary a bit, but he's been noticing it going up the last, I guess, few weeks maybe.
Hmm.
So, hard to say.
There's the variation on the first of the state or Indine's on the fluoride that's 0.05, and then the next one down below that's 0.03. So that's a first.
Oh, as far as the differentiation.
Usually
yeah.
always seems to be consistently different.
Yeah, they're fairly close this year, yeah, by those two tests. Really close.
Good.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job with water levels.
So, good, okay. Item D, update on easement attainment for Tilden, Bridge Street and Cochran Waterline replacement project.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of continuing to talk to residents. So we've got 13 of the 22 easements that we need. I think the 14th one is close. We need a little bit more from them to kind of reroute part of the water line through the corner of Tilden Ave. We might have to work with them on some additional connections or something, but all the other ones are pretty fairly curb stops. And yeah, so hopefully we're getting more back, but 13 of 22, we're getting close.
13 of 22.
Yeah.
So out of those, what's the breakdown? What's the number on Tilden?
Let's see if I can have a big spreadsheet.
I have talked to a couple more people and they were like, families work, trying to get to a notary, this sort of things. And our notary is out, Skip Town, he's in Greece or someplace.
Well, the bank always has a notary.
That's
The bank right here in town. That's probably the easiest spot to go.
But the problem is
People work.
People that-
6 o'clock, well, and being back, they don't get back till 6 o'clock at
Yeah,
night or
right.
something.
It's closed. That makes
That's
sense.
why Jay's volunteering, I get to just knock on each door, so I should get an update on that, and then I could go, like the Witters, because it's just like, Sean's teaching, I'm in Montpelier, wherever she works, we're in the opposite ends of, otherwise they could just meet up for lunch and go into a bank, but that brings up the question is, in a lot of documents these days, things can be, one person can notarize and the other person notarize and they sign it and then just put it together.
I have done that with documents that require notaries and out-of-state family members.
Yeah.
We're not getting together just
Yeah.
to sign a piece of paper.
So that's acceptable.
Like I sign it, notarize it, or he signs it, notarizes it, send it to me, and
Let me see if we can set them up so we
They do
can
separate.
have separate notaries.
Well, I think it's just a legal question. I think, that's right, because I'm not even sure that you have to worry about that. I think it's just sign it.
People just sign one, the other.
And so you got two of them and and it's the same document. They might have to.
Okay, I'll ask if we can do that, because that would make it easy.
yeah.
If some of these are just logistical issues,
Yeah.
then let's solve
That's
that.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing like, I'm not signing that damn
That's
document.
good.
I'm hearing like, I'm sorry, but couple that work on the opposite ends of the state. But if you let me know who on Tilden still,
That'd be I know Steve's keeping track, so if you talk to Steve, he's got a list. I don't have his spreadsheet in front of me,
Oh, okay.
but if you ask him, and I'll ask him to send it to you.
I'll try to go out again. I've been successful in shaming a few people.
Morgan wants names.
That's right. I want the list.
Yeah, he'll get it. Yeah, I'll make a note to have him. Yeah.
I should.
You have the addresses.
That's right.
You know where they live.
Oh, here he comes with his clipboard again.
Midnight notary.
All right.
Okay. Good. We're over 50%. That's good. And when do we go out when are we hoping to go out to bid on that? Like November?
As soon as we get all the easements
Okay.
back, I think Tyler's got everything ready to go. We just gotta get the easements, and then I think we have to get a sign off from the attorney that all the work is either in the right of way or in easements that have been obtained, and then I think we're ready to go.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say November, December at the latest, so we can get some bids over the winter and prepare for next summer for construction.
Right. Okay, update on accounts for individual customers to monitor their water use. It's the new software.
And I'm gonna pop open
While you are popping that open, we've been making a couple of trips to the water and sewer department to get water for my in-laws. And they seem to really work well together and are very cordial to each other. Like, it's been really nice, like kind of seeing them you know, you show up, they don't necessarily know that you're coming, you're just allowed to show up, but like they always are very happy, very friendly, very helpful. And the other day I was where you fill the water. You can see inside their office there, and Brad was showing Aaron, their new employee, like how to do some of the testing, and you could just like watching all of the stuff happening, you could tell that it seems like it's a good work environment, and I was impressed.
Great, thank you for that info.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so they do have this set up. This is a look at the town center water account. So they have it, you can look back by month, May, June, July, August, September, October, and you can click into a month, get into which individual week. So in the first week, we used 409 gallons. And you can click into this and look by day. So you can see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, how many gallons you used each individual day. Instructions for how to sign up for this are going into the water bills this quarter. Brad drew up a nice sheet that has a QR code and a link to this, the actual spelled out link as well, if you don't want to go onto your phone to do it. They're gonna personalize each individual one. So they're gonna give you your water meter number and your account number. They're gonna handwrite those in. So then when you go in to sign up, you'll just need to add those two things in, as well as your email address. And then there's a couple steps to like get a password, and then once you're in, you're good to go. We are looking into, or Brad is looking into, the email notifications, because there's a way to toggle it off or on, but there doesn't appear to be a way to set when you would get a notification. So you'd like to be able to set it like, okay, my average use is 1,000 gallons a day. If I start using 3,000 gallons a day, send me an email. So Brad's looking in to see how can those be set up, because he doesn't see anything on his end. He can set it up individually. So there's still some works in progress, but we at least want to get people in so they can start to monitor this. And if nothing else, when they're away on vacation, they can keep track on their phone and see if there's any unusual leaks.
Good. You showering, you go away for the weekend, your water meter doubles just for the weekend, you know, your neighbor's kids are going in the shower.
There you go.
Great. So there's no obvious place just to go on the town website.
So I'm gonna do that too, yeah. I'm gonna put something on the website, I just haven't gotten to it today, where what I'm gonna do is,
That's what it's gonna look like here.
well, that's what it's gonna look like when you log in. And then what I'll do is under the water and sewer department, I'll add a headline here that takes you to the link. Only thing is, if you don't have your account number or your meter number, you'll have to call Steve or Brad. We'll get that. Everyone's gonna get that in the mail next week.
Okay.
But if people miss that mailing or they lose it, or if they don't set it up for whatever reason, and later on they want to, they can just call Steve or Brad and they'll figure it out for them.
It's not,
But I'll put the information here, and I'll put the link here too, because once you log into the portal, you might say, hey, that's neat, and then forget about it. And then in 3 months, when I get back there, and you're not gonna remember that address. So I'll put that link here so people can remember how to get back.
okay, yeah. It's great.
Because hopefully you save it to your phone. That's probably the easiest way,
Right.
everything these days, but I wanna, as a double check, put them here.
So like anything else, presumably this has a username and a password, things that protect access.
Yeah, once you log in, you put your email in and you create a password, and that's part of it. Like when you log in first, it sends a PIN number to your email. You go back, you put that PIN number in, then you put in your email address. It sends another link that you have to then click on that link to get back in. So yeah, it's protected with your email and the password that you put in. And in order to get that, you have to have the meter number that lines up with your account number, which is being mailed to everybody individually.
Great. I think that'll be a really nice feature. People start paying some attention to where the water's going.
Yeah.
Good, all right. Available discussion, next up, discussion of unavailable dates for special meetings this fall and winter.
Mondays are good for me.
Yeah. So in the packet or in the memo, I put a link to a shared Google sheet. So if people want to go, I think everyone's already pre-filled it in the major holidays like Thanksgiving and Veterans Day and whatnot. But this I think will be helpful when we start to talk about, we need a special meeting for talking about a bond vote or funding, with Hoyle Tanner, so this will at least give us some idea of like, oh, everybody seems to be generally available on these dates, we can schedule a meeting, we probably still want to confirm, but we can at least rule some dates out. So you get a chance in the next few days,
Fill it in.
fill it in for yourself, if you're going away for a week in December, drop that in so we know how to schedule something that week.
Right, no, that's good. Then you have to wait till the next meeting to ask everybody.
Yeah, we can at least get a little bit ahead of it, streamline it a bit.
I just highlighted things in red.
Perfect,
I don't know if
that works.
but I figure if it's Christmas, probably none of us are coming in.
Yeah, imagine that. Actually, that whole week, probably between Christmas and New Year's is usually pretty quiet for meetings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll all be skiing or doing something. Last but not least, superintendent's report.
Okay.
Oh, well, that was quick.
Yeah. I don't really, I mean, outside of the leak last, or the odd not filling the tank back up last week. I thought we had a great meeting last Monday. It was a great tour. I want to say
Yeah.
thanks to Steve and to Brad for putting that tour on, and I thought it was a really thorough look at the plant. Every time I go over there, I learn something. I feel like no matter how many times he tells you how things work, you can always learn a little bit more. I heard from MCTV that the footage came out really well. I haven't watched it yet, but I know they spent a lot of time making sure that, you know, when it got dark, that the footage stayed bright enough. So thanks to Ruth and Angeliki for making that look good, and they've got that posted now, so it's out there if anybody ever wants to take a look at how the wastewater treatment facility works.
I started watching it.
Yeah,
I wanted to see myself with a microphone.
I did kind of wish that I'd brought the girls because I feel like it was a good tour.
Yeah.
We'll watch it someday.
Yeah, this
Was good.
I went through, speaking of that, I went through this one page. Let's see, where is that? It was in one of Hoyle Tanner's. Yes, it was in one of the reports.
Okay.
And that was sort of a neat, like, and they title it a little bit differently than what Steve and Brad referred to the different steps. It's this one.
Yeah, I got it right here. I
Okay,
think.
good, yeah. But I thought, oh, yeah, I get it now.
That was my first tour of the plant in a while, and I have to say I was very impressed to see the improvements that have been made with cleanliness, organization. That was nice to see.
I 100% agree. It looks really good. Looks neat. And you just know from the way that Steve talks about all the different process upgrades they've been able to do in the last couple of years for, you know, some of it was a good amount of money, like the press, but others were simpler things like the grate and the wet well that, you know, and a lot of the different things that he's able to address. So I think it looks like a very well run plant right now.
Yes.
So do we need to talk about items for our next meeting?
Next one, I don't know if we're not a lot, we shouldn't talk since it's wasn't posted or not, but I'm wondering with one, for me, when I think about, and this just ties in tomorrow, what I like about this is it shows the steps, but I'm wondering if taking the 20-year study, maybe Hoyle Tanner would be better doing it. They can break down the cost of everything and go wet well, it's gonna basically cost this much, screening this much, grit removal. And so you take the whole amount of money we're talking about and it's broken down to each one.
Yeah, so I think this is getting a little bit to next meeting, but in the presentation that Kirsten's going to give tomorrow, you know, she will talk about influent pumping upgrade, and then she breaks down the cost of influent pumping. And this really goes in the same order. If it was from influent to then headworks.
Right.
So she's going to walk us through that tomorrow, I think, in great detail. And between her and Steve, there will be no question unanswered. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, great. No,
Is there an end time?
Yes. So for that meeting,
bring your.
It's like, I'm out at 10. Is that allowed? Like, I'm done.
no, so
Gotta
what
go to bed.
I mean, these are rough estimates. I estimated about an hour to go through the 20-year study, about 45 minutes to look at funding options, and about another hour for the preliminary engineering report for the pump station and force main. So that gets us out here about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You know, some may run over. The 20-year study might go longer than an hour. But I'm envisioning at least 3 hours, I think.
Okay, that's fine.
You think we're gonna have a crowd tomorrow?
Oh, packed house.
Not sure if we'll have a crowd, but I think it's really important for the commission to get a really good understanding of where the engineers are at in all these processes.
Yeah.
And give them some feedback, either approvals or general consensus to move forward. Because as you know, we've had a lot of different changes. I'm not trying to phase things in. Oh, Steve's calling. Hi, Steve. Gotcha. Okay. No, we're almost done. I think we were done. Yeah, the only thing we talked a bit about the water tank levels, kind of how or the well.
Ask them to jiggle the handle on the tank.
Which I
Turn it
can
up and
tell
off.
you with some of their questions tomorrow.
That was
With a little thingy.
Unless there are anything, in the floor needs to give.
Yeah.
That by tomorrow, we'll be able to, be, I'm comfortable with what's going on with the water. I don't know what the fluke was. I just aired on this, we aired on the side of caution.
Yeah, I just put you on speakerphone, so they just heard that. And that's basically what I gave them in the update on that part of the agenda too.
Any other I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood that I thought there was just a meeting tomorrow night.
quite all right. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. Is there anything else or?
Doesn't sound like it.
The water tank has been acting normal. It just, that one night, it pumped all night and was at a lower level. It was pumping continuously that night and it dropped, at 6 o'clock, it was at 22.1 feet. And when I woke up the next morning, it was at 21.5. And then it continued to gain all day, but normally in that 19-hour span, it should have filled the tank. It was pumping 90 gallons a minute. I did put a string in the well. It seemed to be full. There's a port that you can actually drop a string and a weight in to measure what's in the well. Everything seemed normal. I don't know what happened that night. It seemed to, not fill up, and it was concerning. So that's why we did what we did, and it's acted normal for 3 consecutive fill-ups. So it's today it kicked on about 3 o'clock and is already at 22 feet. So
Great.
I think it's okay. I just want to err on the side of caution. And when I talked with the state about it, they were like, that was a good plan. They just wanted to know what was going on, and they felt that we were, doing the right things.
We did. No. Well, thank you for erring on the side of caution. That was prudently good.
Like Josh mentioned to me, that we'll try to keep conservation measures in effect until we get out of this drought. I think that's a safe bet that maybe we should just not overdo it. Washing cars and watering lawns and stuff.
I think we all agree with you there, Steve. Great. Thank you very much for calling in.
I thought it was just we had switched to just one meeting tomorrow night. I'm sorry.
Nope, quite all right. We'll hit you up twice tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Steve.
Thanks, Dave.
Hey,
Yep.
Steve.
Bye.
Okay. All right, I think that we've finished up items for next meeting.
A lot of carryovers from this meeting, update on tomorrow's meeting.
That's true. Update
On easements. Update on customers being able to monitor their activity with the new software. superintendent's report. So probably an update on water conservation and water levels too.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good. And we saw water already for September, so we won't be looking at that. All right. Well, if we are finished with the evening, would anybody like to make a motion? Sure.
Morning, this is Bart. Motion to adjourn.
So David, I'll second.
Please state how you would like to vote.
Bart, aye.
David, I.
Aaron, I.
Morgan, aye, motion adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan.